Hey friends, this is Jennifer Terry and welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about the latest inbound travel restrictions in the Philippines. Now let's answer your question. Am I allowed to enter the Philippines? Who's allowed to enter the Philippines? Let's find out. So, the information that I will share to you is the latest update as of November 14, 2020. And the information I am giving you is directly from the Bureau of Immigration. So the Bureau of Immigration announced in their Facebook page and in their website the travel restrictions in the Philippines. So that's what we're going to talk about. So who is allowed? First and foremost are Filipinos. So Filipinos are allowed to enter the country anytime and they just need their Filipino passport. Now next is same with Filipinos. Dual Filipino citizens are also allowed to enter the country. Now, if you're a dual citizen, just bring your Filipino passport. If you don't have a Filipino passport, you just have to bring your certificate of retention or reacquisition of your Filipino citizenship. That will suffice as a proof that you are a Filipino citizen. And who else? Of course, next we have on our list is the foreign spouse. So, foreigners who are married to Filipino nationals are allowed to enter the country. Next we have on the list of who is allowed is the minor children of Filipinos. So, speaking of minor, they have to be under 18 years old. So, if you have a child who is a foreigner and you are a Filipino, one of the parents or both parents are Filipinos, they are allowed to enter the country. Next we have on the list is children with special needs regardless of age of Filipinos. So children of Filipinos with special needs regardless of age are allowed to enter. Next on the list is foreign parents of minor Filipinos. Yes, so if you are a foreigner and you have a Filipino child who is under 18, yes, you're allowed to enter the country. Even if you're not married with a mother or even if you're not married with a Filipina, you are allowed to enter the country as long as you are in the birth certificate of your Filipino minor child. Then you can apply for a visa and enter the country. Now, next we have is foreign parents of Filipino children with special needs regardless of age. Next, we have accredited foreign government and international organization officials and their dependents, foreign airline crew members, and foreign seafarers with 9C visa. Now, those that I have mentioned, immediate families of Filipinos like foreign spouse, minor children, children of special needs of Filipinos, foreign parents, and foreign parents of Filipino children with special needs, yes, you can enter the country. But you need a visa. You need to apply for a visa. So, many of you know, or maybe some of you don't know, visa fee privileges are suspended. Balikbayan visas are suspended. So, nobody can enter the Philippines without first securing a visa. Now, if you are an immediate family of a Filipino, I made a video talking about the requirements for your 9A visa. You can check these videos in my channel. And also, you can directly contact the Philippine Embassy or Consulate near you, and then they will tell you the requirements and what you need to do. Next, we have who else is allowed in the country. So, foreign nationals with the following visas are allowed to enter the country or the Philippines. First are those holding Section 13 series of Commonwealth Act number 613 as amended, 13 Quota 13A, 13B, 13C, 13D, 13E, and 13G visas. Also, RA 7919 visa holders, EA 324 visas, native-born visa, temporary resident visa relative to Section 13, MCL 07 permanent resident visa based on Section 13, EO 226 visa, 47A2 visa, and Special Investors Resident Visa or SIRVs. And also foreign nationals with visas issued by the following economic zones. First is the Aurora Pacific Economic Zone and the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority or the SBMA. So if you hold those visas, which they have to be valid and they have to be existing, yes, you're allowed to enter the Philippines. And take note that they are not issuing new visas. So if you don't hold any of those visas that I mentioned, you cannot apply for those visas. They are currently suspended. The only visa that the immigration is issuing outside the Philippines is the 9A visa, which is only for immediate families of Filipinos. Now, in my previous video, I talk about travel exemption. So if you are a 9G visa holder or a holder of an SSRV visa or a special retirement visa, you can check out my last video. I shared some helpful information there to apply for a travel exemption so that you may enter the Philippines. Now, we have figured out who is allowed to enter the country. Now, if you are a foreign national entering the Philippines, you must meet 4 IATF requirements or 4 interagency task force requirements. So they have set these 10 requirements for foreigners to follow before they enter the Philippines. So you must prepare these 4 things before you fly to the Philippines. The first one is the visa. So, yep, the visa. If you're an immediate family, apply for a 9A visa. Let's say you are a foreign spouse, you bought your ticket, you arrived in the Philippines, and you didn't have the visa. You will have to go back to your country. I'm sorry, that's their law. So you really need to apply for a visa. For all the other visa holders, your visa must be valid and existing. The next one is a pre-booked COVID testing provider. So everyone who will arrive in the Philippines, regardless if they're a foreigner or a Filipino, have to undergo COVID test. And that is the RT-PCR COVID test. So that's there's going to be a swab through your nose and through your mouth. So for this one, you don't even have to pay to pre-book for your COVID test. You just have to register on the link, and then when you successfully register, you just receive it on your email confirming that you have pre-registered. So it's pretty easy. So for information about that, you can check this video which I made about COVID tests for non-OFWs and foreign nationals. Excuse me. And then next one we have is, the third requirement is a pre-booked accredited quarantine facility. Now, after you do your COVID test, of course, you have to quarantine. Now, you must quarantine in an accredited quarantine facility by the government. You can't stay in a, let's say, a hotel that is not accredited by the Department of Health of the Philippines. They have announced, or they have announced a list of hotels where you can stay at and where you can choose from. Now, for this, I will put on the description box the complete list of quarantine hotels. And for this one, the government advises at least to pre-book 2 nights or 2 days for your quarantine hotel, because COVID test might take 1 to 2 days, or it depends how much you pay. So you can watch the video I mentioned earlier about the COVID test if you want to know more in detail about that. And by the way, the COVID test will cost you, the cheapest is $90, $90 US. So now you have the 3 requirements. The last requirement is you're just subject to the maximum capacity of inbound passengers set by the National Task Force for COVID-19. So there is a limited number of people allowed per day to enter the country. So Filipinos are also bound to this maximum capacity. Everyone is. You don't have to worry about this because the airlines will coordinate with the government about this. So basically, you just need 3 things: visa, COVID testing provider, and quarantine hotel. That's it. Now, if you have any questions, please comment down below and I will try my best to answer it. Now, disclaimer, I'm not an immigration officer, a lawyer, or anything. I'm just an ordinary person. I just read the news and stay updated. So if you want to stay updated with the immigration rules, and unfortunately, if you are not on the list of those allowed to enter the country, I would suggest that you follow the Facebook page of the Bureau of Immigration, because for me, that's the most reliable and most updated government page you can ever visit for the travel restrictions. Not even the DFA is reliable. This Facebook page of Bureau of Immigration is the best. And also, you can subscribe to my channel, because if there is any changes at all to the inbound travel restriction, I will make a video about it. So that is it for this video. Thank you so much, and I hope you keep safe and pray for the Philippines because they are experiencing a typhoon right now. So I will see you again with another video, and bye!